Chris Cabell, GS-14. Vietnam was an eye-opener for me because the military folks were divided as to whether or not women should even be there. As a matter of fact, when I got there, I was one of very few American women in that building. And MACV headquarters was a big honking place. It was kind of in the number 6 configuration. But there were military enlisted women there, clerical folks. But I didn't see very many American officers in the females, because the only ones that were officers were nurses and doctors, mostly nurses. So time went by, and here comes the officers, the female officers, and they were really peeved that we civilians got to go to before they did. It was amazing. And as a matter of fact, I met my first female general there. I think her name was Mildred Bailey. I was standing in the ladies' room washing my hands, and there was somebody there with sergeant major stripes that just took up her whole arm, you know. And I said, well, excuse me for staring, but I've never seen a female sergeant major before. She said, stick around, kid, you'll see a female general. And here comes General Bailey. And she was very kind. She ignored me drooling all over her. I thought, oh, if Colonel Nose, who was my first boss there, if Colonel Nose had been around, he would have been applauding because he had 5 daughters. But it was neat. It was really cool. So I just, and also because I was there for 4 years, or almost 4 years, whenever somebody was looking something up, they would come to me, because I knew where the bodies were buried, and where the berries were bodied. And so that was kind of an ego stroke for me. People would come and say, well, what about this My Lai incident? What do you have on it? And what about the bombing over North Vietnam? You know, the B-2 bombers. And there were lots of these things. And I went from J3 operations to military history because the boss that replaced Colonel Nose said, pack your bags, kid, because I'm deleting your job. And I said, why? And he said, I don't believe women belong in combat zone. I said, well, there's quite a few military guys right here, and that, you know, I don't think that's a real issue. Well, it was a real issue for him, so he got rid of my job, and I went down the hall to the military history guy, the colonel that ran the military history in the command group for General Abrams, and he said, well, why do I need you? And I said, well, sir, here's the deal. You guys have just checked out several classified documents for me. I would bet you this job that you can't find it in 24 hours. He said, well, that's no. Well, see, I was kind of sneaky because I knew that the chief petty officer that handled that stuff was on R&R. So anyway, I went back the next day and I said, sir, and he said, I need another 24 hours. I've been real busy. So I went back the day after that and he said, give me the goddamn paperwork. So I looked at the stuff. He wanted me to be their librarian. And I was looking at the safes that we had full of classified document up to including top secret. And and on it they were Diebold safes, which are you familiar with Diebold? Well, Diebold was kind of the answer to every soldier's prayer at that point, because a good chunk of it was made of concrete. So if you had an invasion, you were supposed to pop the thermite grenade on the top of each one of these file cabinets and then run like hell before you became a crispy critter. Well, there were 35 of them, and I wasn't that fast even in those days. So I started microfilming everything and put it in. Basically, we ended up with 6 D-volt safes total. The rest of them were gone. And my boss, the reluctant colonel, got the Legion of Merit for my work. However, he never rated me. And I was really peeved because the new person came in and she said, and this was a lady colonel, this was very exciting. She said, "I'm sorry, but I don't have a clue what you do, so I'm going to give you a satisfactory, and I really apologize if I appreciated you." And I, she was right. She couldn't rate somebody that she really didn't know. But for the military history, Vietnam, MACV headquarters, it said, "These are all the people that worked on the history," and the last line was, "And thanks to our wonderful librarian, Ms. Cabell, we got it all together." Well, that was nice. I still have a copy of that page. It won my heart and mind. Anyway.